I'm Peyton, and this is Jared. Welcome to Season 2 of Kidtalk.
Kidtalk is where we interview people who make games, design games,
And pretty much anyone who likes games.
Yeah, and today we're interviewing someone who really loves games.
And dice.
We're so excited to kick off Season 2 with Tom Vasel from the Dice Tower.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much for spending some of your time with us today.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. I've been wanting to be on this show for a while.
I've been hoping you would come on this show for a while. How's your day been so far?
It has been busy. I wake up early and start recording. I'm usually recording almost by 7 o'clock in the morning because I get more done in the morning than I do in the evening.
Yeah, because there's more traffic in the evening.
Well, yes, especially when school's out, though. The traffic goes away. I'm happy. School's out. You're happy because you don't have to be in school. I'm happy because there's less traffic.
Yeah. We're happy because there's less traffic, too, because we have to do videos.
Well, the thing that kind of makes me wonder how long you're doing videos, it's 10 o'clock where you are, right? Or 11?
I'm 1 hour ahead of you. Yes, 11.
Okay, so you've been recording since, 7?
Yes, but I only made 3 videos today.
Wow.
But I have to do, we do more live videos now in the Dice Tower, so that I have to get stuff done before it's time to go live.
We watched your live video yesterday.
We didn't watch it live, though. We watched it after you did it. It was the board game breakfast.
It's less exciting then, but yes.
It is a lot less exciting when it's not live.
But those hollow dice were really cool.
Yeah, but I couldn't read them. That was the problem with those dice. So we were talking about some, they're really cool looking dice. They sound, they're fun to play with. But then when you roll it, and I'm like, what did I roll? I always roll a 20. But you don't know that because you can't read it.
Well, you can if you look close enough.
Peyton read all of them correctly, actually. He was looking at them very carefully and read all of them correctly.
I didn't squint.
But as you get older, it's harder to read them. And I am super old now. So I need glasses.
I'm farsighted. Are you farsighted or nearsighted?
I grew up nearsighted where I had to get glasses. Then I got that fixed. And now that I'm getting older, I'm becoming farsighted, so it's harder for me to read books.
He's farsighted, I'm nearsighted.
Oh, that's unusual, actually, in the same family.
And we're both brothers. We're, completely opposite in many different ways.
Yes.
Yes.
I like imaginary games. He likes...
building.
That's not a game.
Building games,
I like board games.
Well,
there we go.
We both build board games.
Well, we're on the right show, then.
Yeah.
And now, I know you like collecting dice and playing board games. Do you have any other hobbies besides playing board games and collecting dice?
Not really. The only other hobby I think that I have is I like to listen to music. So I keep a collection of music. But now, I guess I have a new hobby now. Since I bought this studio here that we're in, I'm constantly fixing it up and trying to make it look nicer. I didn't think I would ever do that. When I was a kid, I didn't care how clean my room was. But now that seems to be becoming a hobby. Yesterday I went and bought stones. Why would you buy stones? But I bought them so our walkway would look nicer.
Well, our mom cleaned our rooms, and we wanted to stay clean so I don't trip, which I actually don't trip a lot because I can see in the dark. But... now I like it clean because I do trip sometimes. And a question I was wanting to ask you is, how many games would you say that you have?
Actually, I know almost the answer to that. So I have a Dice Tower library, which we take to our different Dice Tower conventions, and that has almost 2,000 games in it. It's just a little bit less than 2,000.
We have 300.
Well, that's okay. At my house,
thought we had a big collection.
Well, sure, but at my house, I only have maybe 40 games. But that's kind of cheating because I can just come here. It's kind of like if you could walk into a library and take out any book you want at any time, then that's the same way it is with me with games. But not only that, we have a garage full of games that I reviewed that we're getting rid of, and I have another almost 3,000 games.
We saw part of that video, but... where do you keep all those games?
Well, right now, some are in the garage. Some are in the garage and some are in a storage unit. But I want to get rid of those because I think if you have a game and it sits there and no one ever touches it and no one ever looks at it, you might as well just own a brick. Because you're not going to, if I had a brick on the shelf, what's the difference?
Yeah,
if no one ever looks at it.
we
Bricks
play
do
all
not
our
look
games.
good.
How does it feel being out of a few people to get a game? Like, to get a game that isn't even out yet?
I like it. It would be silly to say I don't like it. I will say that I get so many games now. Sometimes a package will come in. Like I have a couple boxes here in my office or next to my office. I haven't opened them yet. And I'm like, I'll get to it. But I used to when I got a package, I would open it up as I was walking in the door. But it's still kind of exciting. It's fun to have a game first. But sometimes it's not important to get the game first. I can wait for games. So you guys probably have some games you waited for a long time, right?
Actually,
Like 1 or 2 or
we
3.
don't leave them in the box. We always take them out of the box. But the box that's sent to us, and we sometimes have games we eat them in the shrink wrapping, but we almost always take them out of the cardboard box.
Yeah, and it's fun to open up games and look at them. Although
Yeah.
sometimes the rule books are scary because they're quite long. But you guys probably make
loves
someone else read
reading.
it.
No, I read rule books for fun.
Do you?
Yeah.
I read for fun, and when I've read all my books, I just read rule books for fun.
Yeah, literally. It's fun to you to read.
I also
Yes.
like to read for fun, but I'm not as excited about reading rule books.
I
If
can't
you
read
gave
yet,
me
so I
a-
can't read.
If you gave me a whole stack of games with a bunch of really long rule books, I bet I could read them all, and I would have fun doing it.
He can read this thick of a book in a week.
That's a good thing to do. A book a week keeps the doctor. I don't actually know the end of that poem.
It's
An apple a day keeps the doctor away.
I've done that. You see a doctor, you throw an apple at him, and he stays away from your house.
Actually, all the doctors I've been to, I don't go to doctors that much.
That's a good thing.
I've gotten
Unless your
my
dad's
test.
a doctor.
My dad is not a doctor,
Our
but
mom is sort of a doctor.
she has a.
Sort of.
I'm a pro at Band-Aid.
She has a giant band-aid that can heal you.
Huh? How does it feel seeing the Dice Tower stamp of approval on a random game when you're just shopping for games?
It's not exactly random, but
I have to say that is one of my favorite things, and I always look. So when I go to Barnes & Nobles or Target, I always look at the games to see if any of the seal of approval's on them, because it's fun to see that sort of thing.
it is.
The very first time my name was on a box, this was 15 years ago, they put my name on a box and they spelled it wrong. They just said, "This is a good game, Tom Vasel," with 2 S's and 2 L's. But I was still very happy, and I showed it to my mom, and she said, "That's cool."
I guess she just did that. That's cool because they spelled the name wrong.
Well, everyone spells my name wrong, but that's okay.
I don't even know how to spell your name.
It's 1 S and 1 L. So you got double letters in your name.
Well,
I have only single letters.
I'm the one with double letters in my name.
It's Vasel.
That's right. I just keep spelling it. People figure it out.
It's because it keeps showing it on our computer.
Well, there you go. You're reading it off. But yeah, I'd like to
That's
see
cheating.
that on a game. It's fun to go to the store and see games, and sometimes I want to stand in the store and just grab people and say, "You should play this game." But people think that's weird, so I don't.
Yeah.
How much time do you spend not playing board games or doing videos?
I spend a lot of time not playing games. I go home each day. I eat dinner. I watch movies or TV shows. I go for walks. I read books.
You
I
go
try
to
to read a
sleep?
book every day. I sleep a little, not too much.
You
I like to
sleep
play
at
video
night.
games.
I
yeah,
only
you're
sleep
supposed
at
to.
night now. I
Well,
only
that's
sleep
good.
at night.
You know what, though? I am starting to sleep during the day more. So when you're a kid, you have to take long naps. It's really annoying. But the older you get, the more you want to take more naps. It's weird.
He
Actually-
loves taking naps.
No, and now I don't like taking naps as much because I'm going to be a runner, so I run a lot. And I
There
play
you have it.
football. I've won against football against you. So that takes all of my energy out. But you know I have a lot of energy.
He has
Do
a
you?
lot of energy.
Yes.
He once did like 500 jumping jacks in one day.
Yes,
I did 500 jumping jacks in my life.
I did exactly 500 jumping jacks. One day. I was
Were you
trying
tired?
to get to 1,000. No. I was not that tired.
No, I am a little jealous.
Why did you start the Dice Tower? Like, I know that you started like a podcast
Before called
like-
the Dice Tower.
a while before you started the Dice Tower YouTube channel, but why did you start Dice Tower?
Actually, before I did that, I wrote reviews. I used to type them out, and my wife, Mrs. Vasel, would edit them. And I started doing that because I played a game and I thought, wow, I want to tell people about this game. So that's what I did. I started the podcast because I like to talk. And I like to talk. So I picked something I would like to talk about, and it's board games. I've run a couple podcasts. I did a podcast for my church for a while. But I like to talk about games. So that's the podcast I started.
What did you hope the Dice Tower would be when you started, and what do you hope that it's going to be now?
You know, when I started the Dice Tower, I didn't hope for anything. I just wanted to tell people about games. And I guess I hoped that people would read what I wrote or listen to what I said and say, cool, I learned about new games. That was it. I never thought it would be my job. That's all I thought. Now, what do I hope for? I just hope that I can go to 2022. I don't think too far in the future because you never know what happens. In my life, I went to Korea. When I was a kid, I never thought I would go to Korea. But we went to Korea, and it was amazing. And then when I was in Korea, I thought I'll never leave Korea. And if I do leave Korea, I'm going to go somewhere different, not back to Florida. And then I went back to Florida. So I'm never really sure what's going to happen next. And I just hope for good things. But I think my hopes are not necessarily for the Dice Tower. I want to see my kids grow up, lead great lives, and do things.
I never thought I would go to, where does Klein move?
Georgia.
I never thought I would go to Georgia.
Klein is our cousin.
I've been to Georgia. It's a pretty nice place. Not as good as Florida, though.
Yeah, Florida's a lot better.
I've never been to Florida.
Yes, you have.
I have?
The beach.
Oh, I didn't know that was in Florida.
What is the craziest or weirdest thing that has happened to you after doing the Dice Tower? Like, doing the Dice Tower, what's the craziest or weirdest thing that has happened?
Oh, crazy and weird things. Well, I was at a pizza place and the guy said, "Are you Tom Vasel?" And I said, "How can you tell? I'm wearing a mask." He said, "Because of your suspenders." I wasn't wearing a hat. I wasn't wearing a tie, but my suspenders gave me away and my voice. But I don't know, weird things. Every once in a while, I've met some kids that I taught almost 20 years ago come up and say hi to me because they like board games now. So that's kind of a little bit of a weird thing. Just people I taught when they were your age, and now they're old people. Not old people, but in college or something. That's
20 years later.
Yeah, and that's kind of a cool thing.
What about the Dice Tower are you most proud of?
I am proud of all the people who are part of the Dice Tower and what they've done, even if they left the Dice Tower and went and did other things. I'm proud that people were part of the Dice Tower. I have a really good team of people who are here with me. I'm also proud of the fact that, and I don't want to be too, I have to be careful. I don't want to be, I don't want to be too full of pride, but I know a lot of people are doing videos and stuff because they saw us do it first. And so they said, well, if that moron can do it, anybody can do it. And so I'm glad for that.
Anybody can do it because we can do it. And
but
we're
you guys,
kids.
it's impressive because when I was a kid, I never had microphones and cool things like this. I'm excited about that. I'm glad to see the board gaming hobby grow. I don't know if I made it bigger or not. I know that a few people play games because they heard me talk about them. And I guess I'm proud for that.
Well, when we started, I was 7, so 7 and up can do it. That means pretty much everyone can do it.
That's right.
He has a point.
What's your favorite mechanic or theme of game to play?
I don't know. The theme I know. The theme that I'm most interested in playing is something I've never seen before. And if you can't find something that's never seen before, then food. Make a game about food, and I want to play it. But mechanic, I don't know. I have to think about that. I think I like games where you have a grid. I don't know why. If there's a grid that you put things on, or like there's just something about squares that
I think
like
I know
a lot.
why.
Why?
Because you like dice so much. If there's a grid, then you're probably really likely to be rolling dice to see where you're going to place things.
That's interesting. You're right. I do like dice. In fact, I have dice sitting right here on my desk. I always have dice. These are dice for Arcadia Quest. I have extra dice for that for some reason. And
Also,
right outside
then
my
you-
door here, I have more than 2,000 dice.
We have this giant dice.
Another one, which is really
I have that die too. I like that die. Is that die soft, foamy?
Yes,
Yep.
it's a
Yeah.
foam D20.
That's useful for rolling, and you can throw it at somebody.
It's
Don't-
basically a dice bouncy ball.
Yeah, he once accidentally threw it at my face.
I
I
have
was
often
dancing
thrown
with
many
it,
things at my
Peyton.
brother's face.
I was trying to do cool moves with it.
Yeah,
Why?
he accidentally threw me in the
Well, let me ask this: were the moves cool?
I kept
was-
throwing the ball under my arm and catching it again.
Ah, well then see that when people say, "How do you work out?" you say with dice, and they won't understand it.
Have you ever wanted to design a game, or have you designed a game?
I've designed 2 games. One no one has ever heard of. It's called Vicious Fishes. It's just about fish eating each other.
That actually
And
sounds really fun.
It's not as fun as it sounds, but I think 40 people bought it in the whole world. But the other one's called Nothing Personal. Is a game about mobsters.
I'm
And,
pretty sure
I've
I've
heard of
heard
that.
that. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, a few people have played that one too. I have designed 2 more games, but I never published them. So
I'm thinking of a movie where someone said nothing personal and the other person said nothing personal and shot the airplane the person was playing.
yeah, that's actually where I got it from. People say it all the time. Whenever someone says nothing personal, they're lying because it probably is personal.
Yes.
Do you have any advice for us and other board game designers who are watching?
Well, I mean, if you're making a game, make something that you want to play. Don't try to make something that you think other people will want to play. Make something you want to play. Now, other than that, I can't really give you a whole lot of tips because everyone likes different things. There's a couple games I like, and I think I'm the only person in the world who likes these games. But play your game with lots of other people. And if there's 6 people at the table and one of those people says, I hate your game, but everyone else likes it, then ignore that guy and never think about him again. But if they all say they hate your game, then you sit there and go, maybe I should fix something in it. So listen to everybody, but don't ever listen to one person who's negative because some people hate everything. I just met someone who hated ice cream. That doesn't make any sense. I'm still going to eat ice cream.
I don't like.
Who
Some
doesn't like ice
creams
cream?
I don't like.
Well, either way, don't worry. Not everyone's going to love your games. There's a million people trying to make a game right now. Everyone tries to make games who plays them. Not all of them are going to be very successful, but as long as you enjoy it and you're having a good time, who cares?
I think that was a nod while he was sneezing.
Luckily, you finished.
Oh, I thought you hit your nose on the microphone.
Luckily, you finished before she sneezed.
That didn't even mean want to sneeze.
If you could play a game right now, what would you pick?
I would pick Turing Tumbler.
Some Avengers game.
You know, the guy who made Turing Tumbler has a new game on Kickstarter right now. I'm very excited about it. He's making a new thing with circuits and wires and all sorts of things.
It sounds like the game for me.
Also, Turing Tumble has your logo on it, I think.
It has the
Does it?
Dice Tower stamp of approval.
I love it. I love watching marbles fall down. In fact, I'm doing some more marble stuff today. And Avengers games, there's some good ones. I wish they would make more.
Like the
Marvel United.
yeah, Marvel United. A bunch
can you
of
guys
other
see?
ones.
Right here, See all the Marvel United stuff? It's all painted up there. My
I
daughter's
can't see
painting
it
it right
'cause-
now. Well,
I
I can
thought those
stand
were
up and
just a
get
bunch
it.
of dice.
Nope.
Our mom is wanting to paint them, and I'm going to help her paint them.
I can't paint, but
I
so
can't
here we go.
paint.
We got Groot,
We don't have the Groot.
And-
We just have the normal one.
Electro, and
Electro looks cool.
this is Spider-Man
Spider-Man?
2099.
I like Spider-Man. He is my favorite one.
Mine
Carnage.
too. Carnage
And
is-
Shuri from
Who's
Black
Shuri?
Panther. She's from Black Panther.
Oh,
her, the Black Panther's sister.
do you have any other questions for us?
Is there a game that you haven't played yet that you really want to play right now? A new game? Is there one on your shelf that you're like, I want to play this now?
Reef.
Oh, that's a good game.
I don't think there are any.
Ah,
To me,
all right.
Reef. I have heard Reef is a good game.
It's a good one. You'll like it, I think. I just assume people like good games.
Yeah.
I love the artwork, so I probably will like it.
At the end of season 1, we ended all of our interviews with a couple Would You Rathers, but now we end them, or now we're starting to feature a new game from Gamely Games called A Little More Conversation, which is like Would You Rather, but it's not.
A little different.
Yeah, it's a little different from Would You Rather. But the first question we have is, what is a smell that brings back memories?
Vicks Vapor Rub.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, then you should be glad. It's something we used to put so it would help your nose clear out. But when I just think about when I was a kid and I was sick, that one brings back memories. And also chocolate, because I used to live near Hershey, Pennsylvania, where the whole city smelled like chocolate.
That makes sense why it would be called Hershey's.
For me,
No, that's where Hershey's is from, the city.
Oh.
what's one of your favorite animated movies?
Spirited Away is probably my favorite animated movie.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
But my second favorite is probably The Iron Giant.
We have seen that. I like that one.
And then third is Emperor's New Groove.
Oh,
Yes.
we love that one. I've seen
Kronk.
the Iron. Kronk.
There's actually a movie
Is
called
he
Kronk's New
actually
Groove.
dead?
Yeah, I'm going to watch Kronk's New Groove this week, I think, with my kids. We haven't seen that one yet.
Neither have we.
Thank you so much for spending some of your day with us today.
Yeah, it was really fun talking to you.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for letting me come on. And thank you guys. I saw you on my Board Game Breakfast show. That was cool.
We hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. I hope to see you guys someday in the future.
Yeah, I
Me
hope
too.
next time we come to Florida, we can come to where you are and see you.
Yeah,
In
if we
person.
ever.
And maybe we could have an actual interview, not on a screen.
You never
Yeah.
know.
I hope
Bye.
it happens someday. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for hanging out with us on this episode of Kid Talk.
Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes.
See you later.